everybody. Getting ready to start my day at the top of Georgia Hostel. Gonna take the shuttle back to Dix Creek Gap and get back on the trail. A well-deserved rest and Nero day off. Stayed the evening with hikers Shoemaker and Steady Eddie. Shoemaker's through hiking, Steady Eddie's on his way to Damascus, and got resupplied. Probably bought too much food, but you know, I'm a rookie at this. Alright, I'll be trucking up that trail in a little bit, and we'll talk at you later. One more thing, can't say enough good stuff about Top of Georgia Hostel. Sir packs a lot, wealth of information, and is here to help you out. Really awesome dude, and like I said earlier, the place is immaculately clean, and the service is impeccable, so don't miss this stop. Now that's a knobby tree. It's dead though, so enjoy it while you can. It ain't gonna be here for too many more years. This is at the top of the hill coming out of Dix Creek. Alrighty, got us another rainy day here. It's not cold though, so no need to put the rain jacket on, because if I put it on, the shirt's going to get wet with sweat. If I leave it off, the shirt's going to be wet with rain, so might as well have rain and sweat rather than sweating up even more than I need to. Alright, well, I got a lot of great suggestions on the trail name, some really funny ones. PT Cruiser, I even got one guy, PT 109. For those of you that are not history buffs, that was the PT boat that John F. Kennedy was on when he was in the Navy. It's actually a movie out about it. It's a great movie. It's very old though, from probably in the 60s. But that was cool. Still had some votes out there for Leroy, but I think I'm just going to have to go with PT, just because it coincides with my channel, and easy to say, easy to remember, and it's PT on the AT. So that's a nice little slogan there too. Alright, well, I am trucking down it's going to be a pretty big day of ups and downs. I'm going to reevaluate at 12 miles at Muskrat Creek Shelter, see how the body feels and what time of day it is, weather forecast, those kind of things, and maybe push on to Standing Indian Shelter, and may just stay at Muskrat. We'll see as the day goes on. But having a great time out here, living the dream. So how about this? PT on the AT, signing off for now. Alright, entering the southern end of the Nantahala Wilderness, and gonna have to go up this big old hill here. So trucking along at a decent pace today, and gonna look forward to getting into North Carolina a little bit later on. Alright, there it is. I'm in Georgia. I'm in North Carolina. So, this is the line here. This is Georgia, and this is North Carolina. We kick your ass in football. We kick your ass in basketball. We're the Peach State. We're the Tar Heel State. We were the birthplace of President Jimmy Carter, because today is President's Day. We are the birthplace of Andrew Jackson on President's Day. It's about even. Georgia, North Carolina. One state down, many more to go. All right. I don't know if this tree has a name, but I've seen it in other people's video. That is a funky looking tree, and somebody decided to put a hat on it. Leather hat. Alright, just leaving Bly Gap, headed to Muskrat Shelter, and we'll make an evaluation there as to what I'm going to do. It is rainy, cold, you know, the whole deal, what I'm used to. But the difference in that and today is I am slippery, soaking wet just from the mist and the sweat, because I have a lot of sweat going on today, a lot of uphills. Alright, more later. PT out. Well, I just got my welcome to North Carolina. Holy moly. You come out of Bly Gap, which is right there at the North Carolina-Georgia line. And then you get slapped in the face by North Carolina. Buddy, I tell you what, that climb's the toughest one so far. What really beats you down mentally is it gives you a false summit. You know, you get going up, and then all of a sudden there's a nice flat ridge walk. You think you made it to the top. You've made it about 1/8 of the way. So, first serious mental challenge overcome. That one was a bear, but I know there are a bunch more to come. Alright, living the dream out here. PT on the AT. Alright, so I'm going to do a little recap on today. This is a little creek here that comes up to Muskrat Creek Shelter. Right here. The cool thing about this shelter is it's right off the trail. It's you don't have to go a mile or a half a mile or even a quarter mile in. It's right there. Nothing fancy. It's got a cool overhang, a couple picnic tables, and probably going to seat maybe 4 or 5. I got my buddy Lotus in there, who passed me up earlier today like I was standing still. He's a hiking machine. A lot of cool little tent pads out here. So that's where I ended up. I'm going to flip it around here for just a second. So, as I'm hiking from Dix Creek, I had 2 choices today. I had the 12.5 mile here to Muskrat Creek, or Muskrat Shelter, or I had the 16+ mile to Standing Indian. Well, one of the guys that stayed with me last night at the Top of Georgia hostel, Shoemaker, young, you know, another hiking machine, he's like, well, let's go to Standing Indian. Well, he left an hour after me. He passed me about at Bly Gap, right at the North Carolina-Georgia state line. And so early risers, Little Devil and Little Angel were on the thing. And, you know, it was, you know, you can do this. You know, you can hike 16. You hiked that yesterday. You know, man up. And then the other part was, man, your old man knees are hurting. Stay at Muskrat. Stay at Muskrat. So when I got to Muskrat, I made the angel decision saying, stop. This is not a sprint. This is an ultra marathon. So take your time and take it all in, and don't put yourself in danger or pain. Well, what's funny is I end up getting a text from Shoemaker once he got to Standing Indian, and he said, dude, it was a brutal climb that was left with another brutal downhill. And brutal for him is probably super brutal for me. So it was the right decision. I followed the little angel's voice, and I'm going to hunker down at Muskrat Shelter tonight. Got very little service, so I'm not sure if this video will go out this evening, but I'll get it out as soon as I can. All right, so that about wraps it up for day 8. I think we're on day 8, and still loving life. So this is PT on the AT signing off. That's it then.